at whatever level we observe, we know that the world is made of flows that create and differentiate diverse phenomena. Flows bearing natural matter, energy, processes, and tendencies that produce individual living things and beings, and that form and continuously shape natural environments. And flows too of human practices of knowing, being, and doing in the world. Scientific human practices that observe material objects and that seek causal explanations, associations, and possibilities of prediction, and social practices that examine humans, behavior, and outcomes using constructed identities and categories. And together, these natural, scientific, and social flows mutually constitute our actual experience. Experiences that are always being made. And although we are mostly unique creations of this always becoming experienced reality, we also have many experiences that are in common. Whole lived experiences made of a fusion of mostly unobservable sensations and feeling states, like the notes forming a melody in a song, and that flow in sensed, not clock time. Common experiences which can share origins, forces, conditions, and capacities, as well as observable consequences, especially when these experiences are negative, repetitive, or stuck, and then become more disposed to risk, disease, discrimination, or displacement. So to understand the origin and persistence of common and especially undesired lived experiences, we must go beyond the typical cutouts of health and disease that are often used today. Cutouts that are usually placed around individual humans, around bodies, around minds separate from bodies, around our brains, and around observations of human behavior. Instead, I argue we must place a wider cut around whole lived experience. And we must use this frame to set the scope of our inquiry, innovation, and creation. And going wider still, we can set a broader frame of lived experience ecosystems. An open frame with loose boundaries placed around all the interactional flows that run through it, and that generate common lived experiences having similar sensations, capacities, and outcomes. And by engaging within experience ecosystems for learning and co-creation, we can now inquire more deeply into the formation, differentiation, and repetition of a chosen focal context of lived experience. And so in this time of rising chronic disease and mental illness and increasingly lost hope, I argue we need a new view of chronically limited lives. A view of stuck lives that starts and ends with whole experience, and that is enacted in focal experience ecosystems. One that sees experience as a production of bodily, social, material, and environmental relations and forces in places and spaces. One that elevates affects, feelings, intuition, and empathy alongside science and analytical knowledge, and that values them all as valued means to understand and address the millions of stuck experiences in the world. One that challenges our false binary notions of mind and body, of the individual and the social, and of human and nature. A more radical view that enriches us with much deeper insights into the intensive conditions, forces, and circumstances forming all our experiences. a view that helps us better understand and address the systemic crisis of stuck lives by creating the organizations, capabilities, services, and technologies that can liberate us from our own stuck thinking, systems, and practices. Repeatedly, sustainably, and with real impact.